Good morning. Hello. Hi. So, today we're playing Slay the Princess. I don't know much about this game, other than it is a horror game. I also downloaded this at some point and just never played it. I think I was stopping like doing plays back then. So we're just gonna continue where we left off, which is new. There we go. I don't know anything about the game other than this is the horror game. She's the princess. We have to slay the princess. And that's it. Chapter 1, Slay the Princess. This is also just a demo, which hoping...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh. You don't say.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Explore the end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Oh, thanks for telling me what to do. So you know, I wanted the Alpha Monarch via Revolution. Turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay, fine. You're just down to the cabin and finish the princess. Yes. It only matters where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Wow.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around and leave again and again. Okay, I'm going to search the cabin.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Okay. I don't care. I'm not killing a princess. Maybe everyone should die. It's what thank you for dumping me in the woods. Ask me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing him and quietly continue down the path. You're not emotionally blackmailing me.
Consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
I love it when games give you choices like this and just completely say, it's just fuck off. Just do whatever you want. It's okay.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
That's really funny. There's no fighting it. I don't really have a choice. I have to go in the cabin, don't I? Oh yeah, I guess I'll be start. Oh yeah, well I guess I'm gonna start walking in a different direction. Again, in fact, I'm going to keep trekking through the wilderness and find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Are you gonna jump scare me?
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen.
What?
At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
This has gotten actually a little bit creepy.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
What? What is happening?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
That is horrifying.
Wait, what's going on?
Good question.
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
I'm getting Stanley Parable vibes, I'm not gonna lie.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
I wonder how they did it. I wonder how they did this little squiggling line effect. That looks so cool.
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Oh, okay. We all just died. Chapter 2, The Stranger. What?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Okay. So it gave me an achievement saying the real Slay the Princess starts here. And that is for dying.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Yeah, get it, the cabin. Okay. I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, has this already happened? Okay, no. You weren't kidding. She actually ended the world last time, didn't she? What the hell is this? Oh, you bastard. You're in it. Kiss, kiss. But I died. The whole world ended. What am I doing here? Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to the cabin. There's walls here. I noticed that a second ago. Yep, head to the cabin where I'm definitely gonna slay the princess.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
Oh. Ha, okay.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Voice of the Criterion?
He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
Okay.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
But like we're a little bit crazy. I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, had this already happened? Okay, no. Yeah, I gotta go to the cabin. For silently head to the cabin. You weren't kidding. She actually in the world. Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all.
Okay.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more. He might have walled
Now
off
it's
everything
looping.
but the path to the cabin. If by ruining my, the world really did end last time. The world hasn't ended.
Yeah, so basically, it just looped dialogue. Yep, okay. Head to the cabin where I'm definitely going to slay the princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Are you? I don't want to fight the princess.
A warning
Walls.
before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Yeah, let's keep an open mind. We gotta slay the princess. Proceed to the cabin. I don't want to. I guess we have to go into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is odd. The air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table, its legs all the wrong lengths. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's not grab the knife.
If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
Yeah, that's a point.
I, for one, would rather have it. We don't really know what we're dealing with here. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
There's nothing simple about this. You want us to go into the woods that's been surrounded by a giant wall that wasn't there earlier. And you're like, we should kill the princess. The princess who just so happened to be held captive in this very spot. How does that make any sense? What part of that is simple? Enter the basement. You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. Approach the mirror, take the blade.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
He didn't see the mirror.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
It's gonna jump scare me. Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Oh, what are we?
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Oh, that's why our hand is a bird hand. Take the blade. I'll take the knife.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay, fine, you took the knife, but you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way, thumb at the bottom. It will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom.
Wait.
It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice.
Okay. Hold the blade the other way, grip it as it is.
You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations. Yes! Isn't this so much better?
We look like we're about to, like, downward stab someone.
Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
Stab, 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 stab. Throw the blade out the window. Oh, I want to do that. Let's just go into the basement. We haven't seen the princess yet. It's already been like 10 minutes. We've yet to see the princess.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase built from an unidentifiable and featureless material. The steps barely seem to fit together, and upon closer inspection, they barely seem to go anywhere at all, let alone down.
Okay.
The air here has an almost artificial quality to it, the scent of plastic from the cabin mingling with a cocktail of chemical odors. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs, its multi-tonal lilt adding to the already uneasy atmosphere.
Oh, do we get to hear what the princess sounds like?
Hi, though. Is someone there?
And I'm a fan of the princess's voice. Stab, stab, stab.
This isn't what I expected her to sound like. What is she? Well, she's not a princess, that's for sure. She is a princess. Don't let your imagination run wild.
Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. I'm just checking it on you. Hi.
That sounds nice. We don't remember the last time we had company.
Sounds off.
It takes you a moment to orient yourself before you're able to start moving forward. As you enter the next room, the form of the princess comes into view, her wrist bound to the far wall in heavy shackles.
Step.
She locks eyes with you, one moving a little faster than the other, the loose skin of her face stretching into something resembling a smile. Holy shit.
That's an understatement.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine?
Why are you just standing there? Are you scared of us?
I don't like her voice very well. It just sounds too sing-songy. Plus, there's like multiple voices. The stranger. To be continued. Finish the demo with the stranger? What? What? Want more content? Episode 1 through 4 of the show is not now. So you're playing. There's 10 routes and one ending defined in the demo, and many more ways to die. Okay. There's 10 routes, and every time you die, it changes. Okay, we have the knife though. Okay. The hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
There is a
You're
princess.
here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world, what are you talking about? Have you considered maybe the only reason she's going to the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad. Do silently.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
So there's 10 endings to this game.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation.
Yeah?
Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Okay.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
The end of the world, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay. But how can a princess locked away in the basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Okay. Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
I woke up
Make
here.
it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Nah, that's that cost, that cost fallacy or whatever. I feel like princess seems kind of bad though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Okay. Can someone else not do this? Forget this. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay? Okay, look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's bad, as you say she is, maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything till I've had a chance to meet her face to
I
face.
guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Okay.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Bad.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
I really like this game. It's just a cool idea.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
I mean, there's a game where you slay princesses in a different way. I need to go find it though.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin. He didn't give us a warning this time about watching out for what she says. Okay.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
There's no mirror.
The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. So I'm going to save it here, and we are going to take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like the most basic opening.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Okay, step.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Also, I think we actually have a human hand this time.
Who's there?
Oh, the voice is different.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't
Okay.
let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I think I'm just...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
So the princess changes on each playthrough?
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yes. Oh, this actually goes a little bit further. What? No, wait. Yeah, you got my favorite camera.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare.
Oh god.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Tighten your grip. Okay. We're gonna tighten our grip. I'll save it. We'll save it.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Ah!
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Step.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, You should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
We're gonna die, aren't we?
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Ah! Sorry, can we just talk? I don't know if drop blade. Slay the princess!
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Yeah.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
We're dead.
Holy shit, that hurts!
What did you expect?
Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
We only hit her once.
We can still turn this around.
Yeah, I think we just die. Lee Locker finished the job. And we're probably gonna die. We'll flee.
Are you serious? It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we've dealt some too. She has to be feeling it more than we are. Let's regroup upstairs. If we're lucky, maybe she'll just bleed out.
You did take bad hit here, bad hit there and there.
Fine. You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
Oh man, this is actually really cool.
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break. The links clatter to the floor.
Well, we're dead.
She's free. Hurry.
Also, all the blood on her is gone now.
You push your broken body as she closes in and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you.
Yeah, we're dead.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
I mean, you usually push the table against the door and then push against the table.
Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. Oh, it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
Oh, we're dead no matter what happens, we die.
Sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
If we die, is the next playthrough or are you gonna have this here?
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
You know what? It is my guilty conscience. Reviewer and the princess, go ahead and waste your energy. I'll be waiting for you.
I wouldn't be so sure about outlasting me. You're so brittle. So go ahead, rest, do whatever you think will help you be prepared. But know that I'm coming for you, and that when I find you, I will make you hurt.
You put put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall.
Yeah, she got
You
out.
jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
Well, we're dead.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
Dead.
Can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
Jump scare.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Yeah, we died. The nightmare. Oh, it's not the stranger this time.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Wait, that's just okay. But I died. What's going? She's going to kill me again. Leave the cabin. Turn around, leave. Okay. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode. I'm gonna be doing these in shorter little videos. This game's really interesting. It already has me hooked. And I know it's a demo, so I won't be able to finish it in its entirety. But that was pretty cool. Kind of a Twitter button doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, apparently Twitter button doesn't work. Maybe it does work. Maybe I'm just... I am okay. I opened up so many of these. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. But yeah, this is a very interesting game. Like, genuinely, I can't wait to play this. Like, actually, apparently there's even another game. Scarlet Hollow looks interesting. Well, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. I'm going to be in here. I think I already said this, and we'll continue where we left off. Probably Wednesday, you know. Bye-bye.